On the call this morning, U.S. futures are negative, down 0.5% after Bernanke calls the U.S. recovery frustratingly slow while failing to hint at a possible QE3. Overseas markets sell off on Bernanke's comments while commodities trade lower with oil down 1% ahead of the OPEC meeting. I'm Alex Steele, and the morning call starts right now.
Good morning. I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com.
And I'm Alex Steele with The Street, and together we bring you the morning call. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday, Scott. So markets sold off into the close after Ben Bernanke's speech, where he basically forecasted slower growth but said that, the Big Ben Bank is closed, Daddy Warbucks is no longer around. Do you think this will be the catalyst now to actually test that 1250 level we've been talking about?
It could. This market is showing no signs that it wants to sustain a bounce. Yesterday we came in, the S&Ps were up 6-7 handles, and a lot of people tried to play that oversold bounce. Frustrating that we opened up. We held up around 50, 60 points in the Dow all day long. Still mixed action, a lot of leaders still weak, a lot of groups under pressure, a lot of things that were positive, one negative. So it gave us some signs that we were oversold, but not at extreme levels where it could sustain a bounce. So maybe if we go lower, we can get that type of bounce.
What level would we have to hit to technically be oversold?
We're oversold. We've been oversold, but the real extreme is like a -65 in the oscillator. And as of yesterday, we were over -50. And usually when you're over 65, it's really hard for them to keep this market lower. So that's why we really have to focus on some key supports. So if you're a trader and looking for cash flow, you could catch this bounce. It might only be an oversold bounce, but there's money there. And if you're a professional, this is how you have to maneuver it.
So let's look at those levels then.
Okay, if you take a look at the chart of the S&P right here, a few things I just want to show you on a macro basis. This was when we killed Osama bin Laden. Remember that? It feels like it was decades ago. That was your sell the strength, sell the excitement. Here was the next clue. We tried to break above this descending channel. Breakout failure. Run for the hills. Now we're approaching bigger support. This level is where we're opening right now around this 1276. So I'll look to maybe buy versus this area right in the morning. If this doesn't hold and I don't see key stocks holding up, this is going to be huge. This 1255 area, which is what held during that Japanese crisis, is going to be something that many market participants will be watching.
So you said you're going to think about buying here, but what about shorting then?
At this point, it's really hard to be short. Even yesterday, like guys who were trying to short that up open, it was really hard. We're like 60, 70 handles off of last Tuesday's high. So we're at that spot that's tough, where it's tough to be short because we've come down so much and you can get squeezed at any point. But if we're not at a low yet, you're buying and there's no traction. So both sides of the tape right here are a bit frustrated. And yesterday, there was a lot of frustration on my floor.
Well, let me ask you, though, about Ben Bernanke's speech real quick, that he did say that monetary policy would stay accommodative for sort of as long as the eye could see. It seemed, what did that mean to you as a trader? Because in my terms, and because I cover gold, it seemed like that meant weaker dollar, stronger commodities. But that's not panning out today. But what do you think? What did it mean to you?
Oh, it means that we have to watch, and we have to make sure that language stays intact. I think what really traders are watching is the market complexion once the buying program ends at the end of June. The POMO, I think, is already getting close to ending, and we're pricing in. So really, at this point, it's going to be the full-fledged market action to see where we can hold and where we can go. And that's why 1276 minor support, huge support, is in that 1250 area, which should pose for some type of bounce.
All right, because some technicians aren't even saying there's another support level after that. They're like, I don't know. We'll
I think
see.
1225-ish.
Pretty low.